This is WWL-TV Channel 4, New Orleans. Time now, 6 o'clock.
Channel 4 presents
Eyewitness News with Peter Wiggins.
Ziwi, the South's most complete and comprehensive coverage of news, sports, and weather.
Good evening, everybody, on this Sunday night, Sunday evening, August 13th, 1972. I'm Peter Wiggins. It is what happened on Eyewitness News Sunday Report. Top story at 6 is, despite a note of caution from the state attorney general and possibly illegal action, Louisiana voters will visit the ballot box on Saturday in Democratic and Republican Party primaries. The big contest, but most astute political observers believe it would be a runaway and pits against former State Senator Bennett Johnson against former Monroe farmer Frank Allen, and the nominee for the Senate seat vacated by Senator Alan J. Ellender, who stepped through the election picture in a mad scramble. Johnson lost the Democratic nomination for governor to now Governor Edwin W. Edwards by less than 8,000 votes, but was given at least an outside chance to upset Senator Ellender. Ellender's left only Johnson and Allen in the field, and the Democratic Central Committee declined last Monday to reopen the qualifications. Attorney General William Gusty warned that Secretary of State Boyd O. Martin Jr., however, not to proclaim the returns. Gusty said he felt that the nomination should have been reopened, and will advise that Martin late this week in not declare the top vote getters than the nominee, and indicated that he felt that legal action would be challenged at the Democratic primary. Former Governor John J. McKeefen has announced that his intent to run the November 7th general election, and Governor Edwards said only Friday that he would not give his political blessing to any candidates that would leave the decision to the voters. The Republican Party has declared that C.M. McLean of Lafayette as its nominee for the Senate will. Harlem Lions of Lafayette will carry American Party hopes into the fray. Mr. David Treen, who lost in February, gives a race to Edwards by more than 150,000 votes, dropped a hint that he might enter the centrist sweepstakes. Here, on the Democrat ballot, there are the following races of Congress: 2nd District, incumbent Hale Boggs, the House Majority Leader, goes against Jules Hillary of New Orleans, Ignacio Perrin of Murrow, and Joseph Smith of Murrow. 3rd District, Lawrence Austin of Graceland faces Carl Bauer of Franklin, and Henry Burke Sr. of Metairie, and J. Robert Hopner of Elsie Mont. In Washington, Avril Harriman and Cyrus Vance, the two original U.S. peace negotiators at the Paris peace talks, said Saturday that President Nixon ignored a peace opportunity in 1969 when North Vietnam withdrew most of the combat troops from South Vietnam, North provinces. They said in a joint statement that Hanoi signaled this intention in late 1968, but instead of taking an opportunity to negotiate Nixon up to the shorten up the Saigon regime. North Vietnam, of course, never has officially acknowledged that as a troops at South Vietnam, and that the signal that Harriman and Vance spoke of was an indirect one. The Senate Department said in a statement that no record of any such so-called signal has been found. Mr. Harriman reportedly says that signal came in October to November 1968. That statement said that this raises the question of why no action was taken on the so-called signal for the next 3 months. Before the President administration took office, it also raises the question of what the so-called signal consisted of, who in the new administration was advised of the so-called signal. It must be recalled that within a matter of weeks after the new administration took office, the North Vietnamese mounted a military offensive in South Vietnam, the statement said. The Committee for Re-election of President in Washington issued a statement against it as, quote, inherent Cabot Lodge in Boston, and Lodge succeeded Harriman and advanced to the Paris negotiations. I know of no such other lodge that had there been for one we would have, of course, welcomed it. Clark McGregor, campaign director of the Committee for the Re-election, and the President said in another statement that Mr. Shriver's political fantasy seems now to be causing predictable partisan daydreams and others, that are the men who supported the Senate 500,000 Americans in the Vietnam combat while there were. In Miami Beach, Florida, a covert struggle between red and left-wing Republicans for control of the party in 1936 when President Nixon stepped out and was surfaced in the GOP platform and Rules Committee hearing started Monday. The fiction probably won't be permitted tomorrow. The 3-day show, the televised Unity and Harmony, which was the national convention, started 1 week later. Performance at Thanksgiving through business arena nominated Nixon and adopted an Nixon-style platform. But there was pre-convention infighting of two fronts, which indicated that more storms are coming in. Contents were leveled and were denied that the platform committee against gender and rigged against anti-war witnesses in the favor of the White House. And right-wing GOP forces launched an offensive to block bill changes that will open up the 1936 convention to more women, blacks, and young people. Some conservatives allegedly believe that the proposed party reforms were a time bomb set to wreck the presidential chances of Vice President Spiro Agnew 4 years hence. But liberals say that the fear that the future of the GOP fails to open its doors to the deprive the dissenter and the disenchanted Democrats in the cross-country platform hearings this summer. A 33-year-old cab driver died Saturday morning at Charity Hospital from gunshot wounds he had received in an incident which occurred about an hour earlier than 33 on the block of 3rd. The man was invited as 33-year-old Noel K. Chugnan, formerly of 7333 Sheffield. He died at the hospital about 3 a.m. and having been shot in the back of the head once about an hour earlier, police said. Chugnan was found slumped over the steering wheel with his cab at about 2:30 a.m. He was a driver for the United Cab Company, running from the cab after one gunshot was heard. No motive was immediately established in the fatal shooting, and police were still attempting to determine if anything had been stolen. According to radio dispatch for the United Cab, Chugnan gave no indication on a two-way radio that anything was amiss. Georgetown, Guyana, the non-aligned nations conference demands Saturday that the United States get out of Vietnam and Cambodia, and an harshly worded resolution approved that the final session at the non-aligned countries condemned the United States for a policy of aggression and serious escalation of war in Indochina. The conference held at the foreign minister level stated that the reaffirms that the wholehearted support for the just and heroic struggle of the peoples of Vietnam, Cambodia, and lost for their national independence and freedom. The strong anti-U.S. tone was not surprised in the sense of Viet Cong and the exiled Cambodian regime of Prince Norodom Sihanouk was not lives in China. One minute on the conference members on Thursday. Delegates from Indonesia, Malaysia, and Laos walked out of a stormy closed-door session of a local hotel where 5 days of meetings were held. People almost came to the bulls that delegate the discrimination in addition to a pullout of the U.S. forces of Vietnam. The resolution demanded that the end of the Vietnamization as well as the demand in the parts of the alleged bombing and attacks in the war of the works in North Vietnam. The nations, which are expected to hold a summit meeting next year in Algeria, also called upon Israel to immediately and unconditionally withdraw all troops from all Arab territories in the pre-June 5, 1967 boundaries. The resolution in Israel withdrawal urged the 63 non-aligned member countries to give their Arabs every assistance to help achieve this. The accurate center of the death seeps fought the decaying walls of the morgue vaults until it permits every floor, every office, and every corner of the section of the ancient building now is in the offices of the Women's Parish corner. That is the way that it was a badly decomposed embodiment is brought in the city morgue. That is the way it is because of the vault's plastic walls are crumbling. That's the way it is because of the vault's insulation turned to the dust with age. That's the way it is mainly because of whoever is responsible for upkeep it in the morgue failed to keep it maintained. The vaults or boxes where its bodies that are stored do not even properly hold refrigerated air. The total budget for the coroner's office was $1971 was $248,791. So only $2,500 was allocated for the equipment when capital expenditures with a bulk of the total budget. $238,956 required for the personal salaries and professional fees. Joseph Ittai, coroner's office administrator, said that the budget was totally inadequate by the stopgap repairs. Democratic candidates for the One Public Service Commission position 3 seats for the State Board of Education, and a member of the State Supreme Court and Court of Appeals judge will turn the final week of what has been a string of largely low-key and lackluster performances. There are no Republican contests on any other races. In a departure from previous years, Governor Edward W. Edwards and the rest of the state officials have stayed out of the campaign to have at least limited their support to below their service maneuverings. And John Hunter Monroe, who is seeking re-election in his second term from the 3rd Public Service Commission District, faces a challenge from Ed Kennan of Minden and Henry P. Long of Benville. Kennan, the nephew of former Governor Robert Kennan, is making his second bid for the public office. He ran for the 3rd and the 1st primary, and the lieutenant governor last year drawing nearly 163,000 votes. And Long is a distant relative to the late Governor Huey P. Long, and like they have issues, no major issues have been serviced in the PSC campaign, and Hunter's been on the long record, and Kennan is promising to be more of his activist in such areas obtained and expanded telephone service for rural constituents. The campaign appears to be boiling under the popular contest. There, in American Fork, Utah, a skydiver was killed on Saturday when he jumped in the face of an approaching storm and high winds dragged him along with a ground for 3 miles, police said. Robert N. Williams, 37 of Granger, Utah, jumped from a plane at 4,000 feet and bit a fence post when he landed. He was then dragged by 15-mile-an-hour winds which whipped against his parachute. The chute failed to break it loose and the wind dragged him far the canal and then over the farmland. Police said he was found in some scrub oaks and pronounced dead upon arrival at American Fork Hospital. MC voted for the August 19th primary elections ended on Saturday when Democratic voters in Orleans Parish cast 217 ballots on the final day, bringing in the total party absentee vote in Orleans to 2,254. 3 Republicans in the parish voted Saturday, bringing in the GOP tally to 25, and the 2 voters voted in the no party affiliation cast their ballots, raising a total of 3. In Jefferson Parish, 247 absentee votes were cast Saturday, and the absentee vote total for Jefferson climbed to 1,216. The final day figure in the St. Bernard Parish was 88, and marking a total of 482 votes. In Saigon, American B-52 bombers made the heaviest raids of the Vietnam on Friday and Saturday to commit a new upsurge in the North Vietnamese and Viet Cong in defense of the U.S. command, and that's the 8 jet bombers struck targeted in northern South Vietnam more than a score of the raids within 25 miles of the Saigon. On the ground, the enemy and a South Vietnamese ammunition dump early Sunday at 12 miles northeast of Saigon at the Long Binh base, the largest American enemy installation outside the United States, and field reports said ammunition erupted in giant fires and explosions, and South Vietnamese officers said 10 Soviet-built rockets at the dump at the U.S. command, and the Army said they did not know whether the attack was made by rockets or enemy sappers. The explosion continued with 5.5 hours after pre-dawn attack. Initial reports there were no casualties, but 5,000 American troops are now stationed at the $120 million base, down from 30,000 3 years ago. It was being turned over to the South Vietnamese. In another attack, enemy gunners shelled the Big Lai Kai base camp 3 miles north of the Saigon for the third time, and a weekend 7 rockets hit the base, wounding 4 South Vietnamese soldiers. That attacks were part of the new communist command campaign using supper bucket and terror assaults across South Vietnam to augment the offensive. Here. In Dhaka, 200 passengers aboard a sinking river boat are believed to be dead after Bangladesh police reported restrict their craft for help. A prelate raid and opening fire on survivors in the water, authorities said. Details of the disaster emerged slowly Saturday with a conflicting reports that the number of dead and inland water transport and 40 good, and survivors give a second account. The river beat Janaki had about 500 passengers aboard when she collided with a cargo boat Friday night 5 miles upriver from Dhaka that the George Sinky broke into. The crowds of people in the water were heard by police aboard another passenger launch. They assaulted the Janaki was being attacked by pirates and opened fire. Tallahassee, Florida. Conservation officials want to expand with an oriental fish they hope will clear wind-clogged waterways and give spectacular angling, provided it doesn't eat out its welcome. The Florida Department of Natural Resources has asked the state cabinet for $103,000 to test the feasibility of the introducing Chinese grass carpet in the Florida waters. Randolph Hodges, the executive director of the Natural Resources Department, says he hopes that the grass carp might be the answer to getting rid of the water high sediments and those weeds that have turned some Florida lakes and streams into the thick carpets of greenery and the disturbance boaters and fishermen. The grass carp rarely takes to artificial lures and worms and it could become the freshwater equivalent of the famous saltwater tarpon. Department officials said that Chinese carp grows to 100 pounds and is a tough but high-jumping game fish, but the state has adopted a once-bitten, twice-shy attitude that will require the grass carp to pass critical scrutiny before being granted carte blanche to those Florida waterways, and before they are ever to be released in the state waterways, we are going to be sure of a whole lot of things. Hodge says, pointing to at what point they stop eating weeds, we can't afford them to turn anything of the to destroy all the vegetation. Here. The Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries Commission stood by its alligator and census on Saturday and challenged the National Audubon Society to prove differently. And if experimental alligator hunting season surged September 5th, 17th, it's a portion of Cameroon, Louisiana, was recently criticized by the National Audubon Society. In a telegram to the State Wildlife Commission, National Audubon Society, the President Ariel Vischassar of New York said that the population of alligators in Louisiana was insufficient to warrant hunting. Clock off power. Commission director responded with a telegram to South Action how the Audubon Society obtained its data on the number of alligators in the state. Registration in 1972-73 school year at Tulane University will begin on August 23rd with enrollment of students in various graduate divisions of the university. First-year students in the School of Social Work and Studies will the graduate division of the school engineering will be enrolled from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the respective dean's offices. Students in the graduate school register during the same hours at the various department offices as the part-time students at the graduate school of business administration will register from 7 to 9 p.m. on August 25th in the dean's office, and full-time business students will register from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on September 7th. Second-year students in the school work will enroll from 8 a.m. to noon on August 28th in the school work building. Registration for students in the College of Arts and Sciences, Newcomb College, and School of Engineering and the School of Architecture will be held from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. on August 24th and 25th. There. 9-year-old Susie gets stomach aches on weekday mornings and often stays home from school. 12-year-old Tommy leaves for school. Age 10 doesn't always get there. He goes to the park movie and said, "Why are these children and thousands of them from the country chronically absent from school each year?" Tulane University sociologist Elizabeth English believes the answer lies a better understanding of the total family system of the children. Sounded there was one simple reason for absenteeism, said Miss English, who is chief social worker in the child psychology unit at the Morris Kirschman Clinic for the Child Secretary at the Tulane Medical Center. About 4,000 partisans defied leadership in March Waterside District to mark victory 300 years ago. West German Chancellor Willy Brandt says mid-government's plan to cut troops in Europe is unwise. Former President of Egypt says reported he received $3 million from U.S. is untrue. And week of military and political setbacks leave Cambodian government and martial law null virtually isolated. In national news, charter bus and pickup truck collide, killing 1 and injuring at least 40. Attempt to bug Democratic headquarters blossoms into an increase in a mysterious case. President Nixon claims economic success and warns Congress against heavy new spending. Business deals with U.S. seem to indicate that a new boldness in the Kremlin leadership. Weakness of the president observed by former Johnson aide at the White House. Buffett and train of heroin user 13 ends running in Boston slums. And bold and train of heroin user 13 ends is running in Boston slums. And Pentagon super secret agency is penetrated by Army officer using homemade credentials. Here. Alright, moving on to sports here in baseball. Scores in the National League. Philadelphia 2, Montreal 1 in the first game, and Montreal 8, Philadelphia 2 in the second game. St. Louis playing Pittsburgh 2-0 in the first game, and then Pittsburgh 7, Cards 5 in the second game. Cubs over the Mets 7-4. Cincinnati over Atlanta 9-4. San Francisco over Houston 4-3, and Los Angeles over San Diego 5-2. In the American League scores, Detroit 3, Cleveland 2 in the first game, and Detroit 2, Cleveland 0 in the second game was New York 5, Milwaukee 3 in the first game, and Milwaukee 4, New York Yankees 3 in the second game. Oakland blanking the White Sox to Chicago 2-0, Baltimore 8, Boston 2, Texas 12, Kansas City 4, and Minnesota 4, California 3. Jack Nicklaus Manfrotto cut 4 strokes from the par 48 Sunday and scored an easy Westchester Golf Classic victory here. Nicklaus will led the entire day, finished with a 270 and was 3 strokes in front of Jim Colbert with a shot in hole and 1 and an eagle en route to the final round 65 700 par on the 6,700-yard Westchester Country Golf Course. Nicklaus 270 was the lowest 72-hour score in an American Tour this season, and a $50,000 first prize check increases earnings to $240,615 for 1932. It was his 5th hour title of the season. No one else had more than 2, and only 15 starts. He is now within easy reach of the 1971 Monday record of $744,400, averaging more than $16,000 a tourney. The triumph, the 30.5 American victory of his career, went with his collection of 1972 crowns for the Masters, U.S. Open, and Bing Crosby National Pro-Am, and the Duval. Drake Neville, the one-time Dallas fireman who came from the Miami obscured to lead the event after 36 holes, and after one time the final round repertoire winning a single stroke of Nicklaus at a 71 for 275 in third place. Homero Blancas, they matched Gilbert's 43 on the best round of the day and shared with a $1,500 prize, was alone in the fourth at 276. First round leader DeWitt Weaver had a big George Archer match of 48s on the hilly layout in the New York suburbs and tied at 277. Gabriel played with Nicklaus at the last twosome, and veteran Charlie Stafford was at 278. Brewitt matched at par 72 and 7 at 70. Arnold Palmer, who scored his last individual triumph in his tournament a year ago, failed to qualify in the final 2 rounds of the year. British Open champion Lee Trevin didn't compete, and South African Gary played in the recently crowned PGA Championship, took a 72 for the 285 and rolled back to the pack for his last start at a regular tour event in the United States this season. Nicklaus held a 2-stroke lead over the Neville starting to play and never yielded the top spot. Neville playing just in front of them got to a 11 and single stroke winning to the par 5-9s, and Nicklaus reached the green. There was a 2 big hits. Ed 2 pulled a big that kept them comfortably in front. Nicklaus played steadily but unspectacularly, and then spectacularly wheeled off 8 consecutive pars before he got the bird of the dot, missing from 8 feet of the par 5 5th hole. He scored the putt of the birdie of the 12th hole. Stan Stopa made it 2 city golf championships in a row as the University of New Orleans of Louisiana State golfer, even par 72 that he fired to capture the 1972 New Orleans Golf Association City Tournament here by 5 strokes Sunday at the AAA Country Club. Stepa's final round gave him a 72-hole total of 3 over par 291. Larry Griffin and Murphy Trahan finished deadlocked for second place at 296. Griffin Cup second place outers by defeating Trahan on the first hole of the Sunday night when Griffin caught a birdie. Scores were high on Sunday at the AAA course, which was in remarkable shape, despite a rainstorm which hit the West Bank Lakes at the conclusion of Saturday's action. Wick Kelly, who started into the final round, tied for the lead with Sopa, shot a 78 and ended the 48 with a 297, good for 4th place. 5th place ball, Ascend Chiller, who caught it at 75, giving him a 290 wheel. Former Titleist Buddy Majors wound up with a 6 and a 300 following the round of 75. Jack O'Neill and his first round leader, Ken Legbeck, had the hopes disintegrated as both shot at 80, as Legbeck had a 4-day score of 297 while O'Neill closed at 300. George Weiss, the power behind the scenes for the New York Kings during many of their championship years, died early Sunday in Greenwich Nursing Home in Connecticut. Weiss was also the first president of New York Yankees and a For Baseball Hall of Fame and his first member, president of the New York Mets, had been in ill health for some time. He was 78 years old. A plaque would change into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York Raids. George Martin Weiss, master builder of the championship teams, was club executive minors majors from 1960 to 1964. Development in minor league changed from New York Yankees farm manager from 1932 to 1947. General manager of the New York Yankees from 1947 to 1960, which won 10 pennants and 7 World Series titles. And New York Mets from 1963 to 1966. It was West who played a major role in bringing the Yankees such players as Joe DiMaggio, Lefty Gomez, Yogi Berra, Mickey Mantle, Tommy Hamage, Charlie Kell, and Whitey Ford, also the Whites who had hired Casey Tillman to manage the Yankees in 1949. George White inherited a legacy of Yankee greatness from Mr. Barrow and sustained and fought his own uniquely participating Yankee center. Yankee President Mike Burke said Sunday, "In recent years we have been striving to regain the level of success we could pay him so much for the prosperous homage to Bear." In Windham, New Hampshire, Howard C. Patterson, 42, a horse trainer from Hall Center, Maine, and Frank Calico, a 29-year-old jockey from New Orleans, Louisiana, were killed Saturday night when the motorcycle they were riding west of New Hampshire 111A hit a fence. Calico raced at the fairgrounds in New Orleans for several years. Indianapolis teenager Chris Everett overcame a 5-0 deficit in the first net Sunday, winning 13 of the next 15 games and beat Australia's Yvonne Glenning 7-6-6-1 for the women's single titles in a $60,000 U.S. clay court tennis tournament. Staff outclassed Bob Hewitt, outclassed 19-year-old Jimmy Connors of Belleville, Illinois at 7-4, 6-1, 6-2 to win the men's singles championship. In Colburn, Virginia, Bobby Isaac of Catawba, North Carolina, outdueled 4 of his drivers Sunday to win the $11,000 NASCAR stock race. Continues winner of the Grand National East race at the Longmont Pines International Raceway. Isaac Brown in 1970 Dodge took the lead for good on the 195th lap. And St. Fender Raceway in the 270 lap, 200-mile race he picked up $750 for Grand National East winning season. Isaac won the pole position with a record speed of 75.448 miles an hour. Finished 5 laps ahead of Neil Kessels of Charlotte, North Carolina in the 1981. Plymouth Elmer Langley of Charlotte, North Carolina was third in a 1971 Ford 11 left beyond Isaac. Kessels collected $23, Langley $750. Tanning Lund of Trust South Carolina, who finished 10th for 48 laps, was in front when mechanical trouble forced him out of the race. In Cleveland, Great Britain's Mark Cox broke the serve of Australia's Ray Ruffles in the first game in the final set of the Sunday and went on to claim the $10,000 first place money in the Cleveland Clinic Tennis Tournament 6-3, 6-4. 4-6, 6-3, 6-4. The Battle of Southpaw eliminated in a week of sports and in its $30,000 stop of the World Championship Tennis Tour. Cox was only stated 6th among the 12 for the event among the 32 participants, and Ruffles' 28 was operated on the way to the victory in dominating Cox after the first set, but Cox 28 broke Ruffles' serve in the 6th game of the 4th set and went on to tie the match. In the final set, he won the first game after Ruffles had taken the first 2 points. Ruffles failed to handle the 3 straight service returns by Cox, then dropped the game when Cox struck a smooth cross-court shot for the final point. In Milwaukee, Joe Lantern captured his first consecutive United States Auto Club Speedway race. Sunday, leading the field by at least 3 laps at the finish of Tony Bendenhausen in the 200-mile Wisconsin State Fair. Lantern won the Michigan International Speedway and the Pocono 500 pocketed $14,534 for Sunday's race after a record and average speed of 111.652 miles per hour. Driving a Pinelli turbocharged Offenhauser, but he qualified third tonight with a Al Unser Mario Andretti for the lead for more than a half a race. But Andretti, who led the qualifiers for the track record of 20.1 seconds or 127.932 miles per hour, on and winner of the lap, his brakes locked under the way into the pits and caused Madison Flames leading crewman and outclocked Julian Martin, who reported as satisfactory condition in hospital. Andre wasn't injured. Clubs are Marilyn Smith. Collected 20th victory of the Ladies Professional Golf Association career Sunday, found in their 200 par 70 for a 6-stroke margin at $30,000 Columbus Classic. Ran on to the second game in the Louisiana State American and Legion Baseball playoffs in the 4th inning Sunday at Chris Mooney's Park with Sharpe Stacy Bread leading in a 4-0 lead over the TL James Contractors Weston. Taylor surged by the New Orleans team will be for nothing, and however, the game will be played in its entirety Monday afternoon, 2 p.m. and Tasty must win the first or third and Saturday game in a best of 2 or 3 series. A fair game in the Needle to be played at the same park beginning at 7:30. Al Greenberg won 2 races Sunday, captured the 1972 World's 19 Gulf Coast Regional Championship. Mark Myers of New Orleans, Dan Phil O'Leary and Patrick Bolton 6-2, 6-1 successfully defend his men's single titles and finals at the 17th annual Louisiana St. Close Tennis Championship here Sunday afternoon at the City Park Tennis Courts. Peggy Moore also New Orleans retained her singles crown with 6-2, 6-1 verdict over Sherbert and Borders. Young Melvin Dennis, one of the best looking welterweight prospects to appear before local boxing fans in several years, will show stuff again on Tuesday. Night at the Municipal Tournament. Dennis was managed by ex-lightweight championship Joe Brown and swept punches with Sammy Wickett of Sportsmanship, Spartanburg, North Carolina in a 10-round semi-final round of promoter Lou missing a 3-1 round boxing show. And Alvin Davis decision, Mike Jones on the final fight at the 9-back New Orleans Police Department Club boxing show Sunday afternoon in the yard of the St. Vincent de Paul Recreation Center. Davis won 34 and Jones won 82, topped the card as the final 3 hours were called up by rain. And volunteer judges for the fights were Frank Gerard, Pat Stavin, and Jim Narina. Okay, Don Westbrook has a winner. Take away, Don. Okay, thank you, Peter. Right now, congratulations at 6 o'clock reports it's 80 in New Orleans, 90 in Baton Rouge, 90 in Homa. It is 89 out in Lake Charles. It's 90 out in Audubon. It's 82 in Alexandria, 72 in Kisatchie, 87 in Shreveport. It's 89 in Jackson, Mississippi, and 89 in Gulfport, Mississippi. Yeah. Alright, let's take a look at our map situation. It was high pressure dominating Dixie States today with some beautiful weather and a little humid, but a perfect Sunday and top 5 to much of Dixieland. And a south winds down the Carolinas and west winds dominating the Gulf of Mexico. A light rain from Massachusetts, southern New Hampshire, and Vermont down for eastern New York. And raining around western Texas and southeastern New Mexico. And raining from the Northern Rockies from Montana down for Yellowstone region from Montana, eastern Idaho, western Wyoming, and northern Utah and northwestern Colorado. And high pressure covering western Pennsylvania. And a ridge of high pressure covering much of the middle and central Canada from eastern Saskatchewan down from Manitoba down to Ontario. And more southwestern winds covering from Nevada down for California. And low pressure covering of much of southwestern states and west central plain states here. 65 out in Eastport, Maine, 71 in Albany, 81 in Columbus, Ohio, 80 in Nashville, 77 here in New Orleans, now 80 degrees, 77 in Macon, Georgia, 82 in Miami, 87 in Austin, Texas, 83 in Oklahoma City, 85 in Chicago, 83 around Minneapolis, 87 in Denver, 96 in Phoenix, 64 in San Francisco, 77 in Boise, Idaho, 72 in Spokane, and 64 out in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Here. So our forecast for the New Orleans vicinity go like this. This forecast calls for podcast skies and no important temperature change and a 50% chance of rain on Sunday. High temperature for Monday will be in the low to mid 90s, and tonight's low will be 75, and high tomorrow 99.5 degrees, and winds of the city will be variable about 5 to 50 miles an hour. For Louisiana and Mississippi, both states may expect more hot temperatures and a chance of afternoon and nighttime rain for Monday. High temperature in both states will be in the low to mid 90s on Sunday and Monday. And that is going to be it for the Channel 4 Eyewitness News Sunday early report on this August 13, 1972. I'm Peter Wiggins alongside Don Westbrook saying have a good day, and I will see you. We'll be back at 10. Have a good evening.